Morning, Ryan. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, Master.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm just admitting other people. Abdurrahman Walid, Layan, Jana Walid, Yasmin, Sa'a, Yasin, Yahya, Yusuf Awad, Haya. Okay, so I have about 17 or 18 students. Sama Darwish, Kiara. Okay, so good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. We are in the afternoon now. Uh, I hope everything is okay on your side. Yusuf Sahrawi joining us. Mr. Vodadi. So there are 23 or 21 students so far. Okay. Yesterday you did the quiz, and this is generally okay. 4 people, or at the beginning, 7 people didn't do it. I just want to say that if you miss a quiz after that, you have to ask Mr. Osama for permission to redo it. Okay? I gave you another chance yesterday, I think from 12:30 to 12:40. 3 people only did it, and we still have 4 people. I think they are. Can you remind me of yourself, please? The 4 guys who didn't do the quiz.
Me and Ganna Tamer. I
Yasin,
don't know
Haya.
who else.
Hey, Yasin, Haya. I think there are 2 other guys.
Ganna Tamer.
Tamer, yes. Ask her to join us, please. And Martina, I think.
Okay.
Uh, Yasin, Yasin, Haya, Ganna Tamer, and Martina didn't do it. The people who, the last, or the 3 people who did it yesterday, who were also late, were Kiara, Yasmin Sa'a, and Ganna Good. I gave you another chance, guys, and you missed both chances. I'm talking to the 4 guys who missed it so far. So please be careful, and you know that you have a quiz from the very beginning. I asked you to make sure your internet connection is okay. It was at, I think, 11 something. Those who told me that they were sleeping, yani, you are supposed to be studying, you are students. I'm not sure what to say. You had 2 chances and you missed both of them. I'm sorry. Some people didn't.
Mister, I submitted it أصلا on time.
Okay, no problem. Some people
And
try at
me.
the last minute. Please, it's a 15 MCQ questions, choices. You just put a dot or click or choose the correct answer. And you know what happens? You know what happens among you? And all the people get 100, and I don't care. Yani. I don't ask you to open your cameras. I'm a very easy teacher. So please be on time and don't, because this tires me. This makes me tired to reopen it again and again for you. Please, I'm so sorry. I know you all are, you attend the 4 people I'm talking to. Most of you are punctual, do everything on time, but please be careful next time. Okay, I'll
Mister,
open it for you at 1:30. Okay, guys? Yasin, Haya, Ganna Tamer, ask her to join us, please. Yasin, Haya, Ganna Tamer, and Martina. Martina and Ganna Tamer, I think, haven't joined yet. Ask them to join us and tell them that uh, uh, I will open it at, what's wrong here? Okay, I will reopen it at 1:30 to 1:40 for 10 minutes only. You already did it. Ali, good morning. Uh, any question, guys? Hello? Yasin, any question? Haya? Yasin and Haya, can you hear me?
no.
Okay. So today we are supposed to be doing the novel, and remember, maybe next week there are no quizzes because of the EST and the ACT issues. So the week after next week we'll have a novel quiz, novel and vocab quiz. So be careful, please, and follow up with me in the novel. Remember, we have the central character in the novel is Lizu, the 10 or 11-year-old girl who lives with a family in Himmel Street in Germany. Hans Huberman and his wife Rosa, and a Jew called Max Vandenberg comes to hide in their basement. And now Max and Liesel are friends. Okay, the girl goes down to the basement to spend some time with Max every day, and from time to time, Max kills his time by imagining that Hitler visits him in the basement and he has a fight with Hitler, and every time he defeats Hitler. Okay, here we have some sketches, this part. Uh, Guys, are you all following up? Because this is important. Please don't join us and go to bed, or do whatever you like. Please join up or follow up to make sure you understand the novel, because maybe the novel quiz will be different from the quizzes you know. If you are following up, please put your hand up just to make sure you are following up. Yasin, Yusuf, Haya. Okay, Osama Darwish, Hassan, Ali, Ryan. Thank you very much. Kiara, Janet Garaihi, Ryan Anwar. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Abdurrahman Bughdadi, can you hear me? Hassan Ruhayim, are you there? Mr. Ruhayim?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Jana Garaihi, what's wrong with you? Why don't you put up your hand? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, and please make sure you're following up because this is important. The title of this part, we are doing part 5. Remember that the book is divided into 10 parts. Okay. Put your hands down. Thank you. So far, we did 4 parts, and this is part 5. We are about to end it or finish it. The title of this part is Sketches. If the summer of 1941 was walling up around the likes, children like Rudy and Liesel, it was writing and painting itself into the life of Max Vandenberg. In his loneliest moments in the basement, the words started piling up around him. The visions began to pour and fall and occasionally limp from out of his hands. Remember, you are hiding in the basement, in a very cold basement, in the cold winter of Germany, okay? And you are afraid that anytime someone will come and stand over you, and you find nothing to do, you're sleeping most of the time, maybe reading sometime in this dark place. Put yourself in this situation and imagine how your life would be. He had what he called just a small ration of tools. The tools he had in this basement, in this dark, cold place: a painted book. Remember, he painted over Mein Kampf, the book he had. Okay, a handful of pencils, a couple of pencils, a mind full of thoughts, and his mind, which was full of thoughts and ideas. Like a simple puzzle, he put them together. Originally, Max had intended to write his own story. Max has intended to write his own autobiography. The idea was to write about everything that had happened to him and that had led him to a Himmel Street basement. But it was not what came out. Max's exile produced something else entirely. It was a collection of random thoughts, and he chose to embrace them. They felt true. They were more real than the letters he wrote to his family and to his friends, or his friend Walter Kugler. Remember, this name, Walter Kugler, is the friend with whom he used to have, let's say, fist fighting matches when they were young. Sorry, and they played 13 matches. Kugler won 10 of them, and Max won 3. Okay, and they became friends after that. And this is the boy who helped him hide back in Stuttgart. Okay, and brought him the key and Mein Kampf from Hans, if you remember, knowing very well that he could never send them. He wrote maybe some letters to his family, to Kugler, but he knew he would not send or could never send them. The desecrated pages of Mein Kampf, he has destroyed them. Okay, were becoming a series of sketches. He made some sketches on the pages of the painted pages of Mein Kampf, page after page, which to him summed up the events that had swapped his former life for another. Some took minutes, some sketches took minutes, others took hours. He resolved that when the book was finished, he'd give it to Liesel when she was old enough, and hopefully when all this nonsense was over. So he decided to write his own story and give it to Liesel when she grows up a little bit. From the moment he tested the pencils on the first painted page, he kept the book close at all times. No, he kept it close, yes, close near at all times. Often it was next to him or still in his fingers as he slept. It was next to him all the time. One afternoon, after his push ups and sit ups, he used to do some exercises. As we said before, he fell asleep against the basement wall. When Liesel came down, she found the book sitting next to him, slanted against his thigh, and curiosity got the better of her. She leaned over and picked it up, waiting for him to stir. He didn't. Max was sitting with his head and shoulder blades against the wall, sleeping, deeply sleeping. She could barely make out the sound of his breath coasting in and out of him as she opened the book and glimpsed a few random pages. These are some of the sketches he has drawn. So I'll minimize it a little bit for you in order to. So guys, who can describe this sketch? Who can describe this sketch? Hello? Hello? Okay. 4 raised hands only. طيب أسامة درويش. What can you see in this sketch, أسامة? أسامة. أسامة, can you hear me? Okay, Ali?
Yes, I'm
Can you describe this?
Hitler giving a speech for the people.
Yes, and how the people
Sieg Heil.
Sorry, Ali, did you say something?
They're hailing him.
Yeah, they maybe are chanting or they in brief they admire what he is saying. Let's move to not the Führer, the conductor. He's the conductor, like the maestro, you know, the conductor of the people who play music. He's like a conductor who controls the band which is playing music. Another one, another sketch Max drew on the pages of Mein Kampf. Here with the swastika here representing the sun and some clouds, and here 2 people standing on a pile of other bodies. Isn't it a lovely day? They are enjoying the sun and the weather, saying, isn't it a lovely day? Who can describe this picture, guys? Who can describe this picture? Hello? Yahya, can you describe it? Yahya? Yahya, are you there? Type. Kiara, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you describe this picture?
Okay. There is a sun with a symbol of
Nazism.
Nazism, swastika.
swastika. Okay.
And there are two people.
Hmm.
There are a lot of people.
Yes. What are these two people doing?
I don't know.
Maybe this is Hitler and his wife. Maybe this is the mayor and his wife. And they enjoy the fine weather. They say, the woman says, isn't it a lovely day? And at the same time, who can complete? Thank you, Kiara. Who else can describe the picture? Jana Osman. Jana,
Yes, Mister.
can you describe the picture?
That Hitler and his wife enjoys their day by killing يعني a lot of people.
Yes, thank you very much.
يعني
Okay.
they made a lot of people die. They enjoyed this life.
Yes, the time they are killing a large number of people, they are enjoying the fine weather. And the sun is represented by the swastika here, and it's fine, as you can see. You know, it's rarely sunny in Germany, especially in the winter. It was the winter of 1941. Hitler or the Nazis in general enjoy killing a large number of the Germans the time they are enjoying the fine weather or are enjoying their actions. Thank you very much. These are two sketches of the ones Max painted over the painted pages of Mein Kampf. Remember again, these sketches were painted over the painted pages of Mein Kampf. Hans painted over the pages and made them blank and started writing his own story and drawing some sketches like these. Some sketches took just minutes and some of them took hours. Frightened by what she saw, when Liesel went down and saw these sketches, Liesel placed the book back down exactly as she found it, against Max's leg. Remember, he used to keep the book as close as he could. A voice startled her. Dankeschön. Some voice said thank you. Dankeschön, thank you, it said. And when she looked across, following the trail of sound to its owner, a small sign of satisfaction was present on his Jewish lips. So the person who thanked her for putting the book back is Max. Holy Christ, she said, you scared me, Max. He returned to his sleep, and behind her, the girl dragged the same thought up the steps. You scared me, Max. She was startled or scared by his voice. Another part called The Whistler and the Shoes. The Whistler and the Shoes. I want somebody to help me with reading, please. The Whistler. You know, a whistler is a person who blows a whistle. Okay. The Whistler and the Shoes. Who's Whistler and who the Whistler and whose shoes, we will find out soon. Who wants to read, guys? Jana Garaiha, are you there?
Yes, Mister.
Okay, can you read?
Yes. The same pattern continued through the end of summer and well into autumn. Rudy did his best to survive the Hitler Youth. Max did his push-ups and made his sketches. Liesel found newspapers and wrote her words on the basement wall. It's also worthy of mention that every pattern has at least one small bias, and one day it will tip itself over or fall from one page to another. In this case, the dominant factor was Rudy, or at least Rudy and the freshly fertilized sports field. Late in October, all appeared to be usual. A filthy boy was walking down Hamel Street. Within a few minutes, his family would expect his arrival, and he would lie that everyone in his Hitler Youth division was given extra drills in his field. His parents would even expect some laughter. They didn't get it. Today, Rudy was all out of laughter and lies. On this particular Wednesday, when Lisa looked more closely, she could see that Rudy Steiner was shirtless, and he was furious. What happened? She asked as the tragedy passed. He reversed back and held out the shirt. Smell it, he said. What? Are you deaf? I said, smell it. Reluctantly, Liesel leaned in and caught a ghastly whiff of the brown garment. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, is that the boy nodded? It's on my chin, too. My chin. I'm lucky I didn't swallow it. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. The field that Hitler used just got fertilized. He gave his shirt another half-hearted, disgusted appraisal. It's cow manure, I think. Did what's his name, Dutcher, know it was there? He says he didn't, but he was grinning. Jesus, Mary, and could you stop saying that? What Rudy needed at this point in time was a victory. He had lost in his dealings with Victor Schemmel. He had endured problems after problem as the Hitler Youth. All he wanted was a small scrap of triumph, and he was determined to get it.
Okay, so remember, this boy Victor Chemel is one of the Hitler Youth groups, and he threatened Rudy before that he will be punished one day for, let's say, messing up with the Twitcher. If you remember the boy, the Twitcher, Mueller, and this boy Victor Chemel threatened to punish him in a later day, and now he punishes him. There was some cow manure, some shit of a cow, sorry, and he, let's say, tainted Rudy's shirt with this manure, the cow manure, and put some on his chin. And the boy says, thank God I didn't swallow it or eat it. So imagine the boy was covered, his body was covered with this manure or dung. It's called, sometimes it's called dung, the feces, sorry, of a cow. He continued. Jana, can you complete?
Yes. He continued home, but when he reached the concrete step, he changed his mind and came slowly, uh, purposefully back to the girl. Careful and quiet, he spoke. You know what would cheer me up? Liesel grinned. If you think I'm going to in that state? He seemed disappointed in her. No, no, not that. He sighed and stepped closer. Something else. After a moment's thought, he raised his head just a touch. Look at me, I'm filthy. I stink like a cow shit or dog shit, whatever your opinion, and as usual, I am absolutely starving. He paused. I need a win. Liesel, honestly. Liesel knew sh- she would have she would have gone closer, but for the smell of him stealing, they had to steal something. No, they had to steal something back. It didn't matter what, it needed only to be soon. Um, just you and me this time, Rudy suggested. No Chimmels, no
Michael?
Michaels, just you and me. The girl couldn't help it. Her hands itched, her pulse split, and her mouth smiled all the same time. Sounds good. It's agreed then. And although he tried not to, Rudy could not hide the fertilized grin that grew on his face. Tomorrow, Liesel nodded. Tomorrow. Their plan was perfect, but for one thing. They had no idea where to start. Fruit was out. Rudy snubbed his nose at onions and potatoes, and they drew the line at another attempt on Otto's theorem.
Sure.
And his spiteful what?
Yes, Otto Storm.
And his bike full of farm produce. Once was immoral, twice was complete bastardry. So where the hell do we go? Rudy asked. How should I know? This was your idea, wasn't it? That doesn't mean you shouldn't think a little too. I can't think of everything. Yeah, you can barely think of anything.
Okay, wait. So the boy, being, let's say, internally defeated this way, decides to do something to feel victorious, to feel that he is a winner. He agrees with Liesel to go stealing again, but on their own, without the gang they used to steal with. Okay, he said, I didn't need any chemels or schmeichels. I will go alone with you and we can steal whatever. They didn't know what they want to steal. She agreed to do this with him and agreed on the time. It's tomorrow. And maybe she said we can steal Otto Sturm bike full of farm produce again. Remember the boy who used to take the food to the priests in the church and they put some maybe water on the snow in order to make him fall down or fall off his bike. And this happened, and they would steal the bag which was full of food. They did it before, and they thought of doing it again. So after being humiliated, Rudy decides to go stealing again with Liesel to have some revenge, to evaluate himself, or to think that he is victorious or he is a winner. She agrees and they agree to do it tomorrow, but what is still not sure yet. Thank you very much, Jana. I want another one to read, please. Who's ready? I have two raised hands. Ali's and Jana Osman's. Okay, so I have Osama Darwish. Okay, Osama. Osama.
Mr.
Okay, start.
Mr. From they argued, so
Yes.
they argued on as they walked through town. On the outskirts, they witnessed the first of the farms and the trees standing like emaciated statues. The branches were gray, and when they looked up at them, there was nothing but ragged limbs and the empty sky. Rudy spat. They walked back through mulching, making suggestions. What about Frodeller? What about her? Maybe if we say Heil Hitler, Hitler and then steal something will be alright. After roaming Munich streets for an hour or so, the daylight was drawing to a close, and they were on the verge of giving up. It's pointless, Rudy said, and I'm hungrier now than I've ever been. I'm starving, for Christ's sake. He walked another dozen steps before he stopped and looked back. What's with you? Because now Liesel was standing completely still, and a moment of realization was strapped to her face.
Wait, Osama. Okay, so they roamed the streets of Munich in order to find something to steal, but so far they hadn't stolen anything. The boy is getting hungrier and hungrier, and they decide to go to steal from Frau Diller's shop. Remember, corner shop. But they said we can go and Heil Hitler and steal whatever. But even this idea didn't or wasn't completed. And he asks her, what's with you? What food do you have? Because now Liesel was standing completely still. What's with you means maybe what's wrong with you? She stopped, and a moment of realization was stabbed to her face. She has realized something. Go on, Usam. Why?
Why hadn't she thought of it before? What is it? Rudy was becoming impatient. Summon
Zawmish.
Zamch, what's going on? At that very moment, Liesel was presented with a decision. Could she truly carry out what she was thinking? Could she really seek revenge on a person like this? Could she despite someone this much? She began walking in the opposite direction. When Rudy caught up, she slowed a little in the vain hope of achieving a little clarity. After all, the guilt was already there. It was moist. The seed was already bursting into dark leafed flower. She waited up whether she could really go through with this. At the crossroad, she stopped. I know a place. They went over the river and made their way up to the hill. Uh, on grenade stress, they took in the splendor of the houses. The front doors glowed with polish, and the roof tiles set like tupies, combed to perfection. The walls and windows were manicured, and the chimneys almost breathed out of smoke rings. Rudy planted his feet at the mayor's house. Lyson nodded seriously. A pause defied my law. When they angled toward it, Rudy just how in God's name they were going to get inside. But Lyson knew local knowledge. She answered local. But when they were able to see the window to the library at the far end of the house, she was greeted with a shock. The window was closed. Well, Rudy asked.
Okay, Osama, she decides after roaming the streets of Munich, looking for a place or something to steal. Liesel stopped suddenly. She had an idea. She decided to steal the mayor's or steal something from the mayor's house. I have a question here. Why did Liesel decide to steal something from the mayor's house, guys? Hello? Haya, can you hear me? Haya?
Yes, mister.
Why did Liesel decide to steal something from the mayor's house?
What?
Why did Liesel decide to steal something from the mayor's house?
Sorry, mister, I wasn't focusing on this part. I want to get
Okay,
something.
guys, follow up, please. Follow up, please. I trust you. Alia Walid, are you there? Alia? Miss Alia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can you answer my question? I have just asked a question. Can you answer it?
I don't know the answer.
So, what's the question, Alia? Of course, you don't know the question because you weren't following up as usual, Alia. Okay, Jana Guda? Jana Guda? Jana?
Yes, mister.
Okay, can you answer my question? Guys, you are not following up. Please help me to sympathize with you. Yani you just join us and enjoy. Please follow up. Please, for your good, follow up. Abdurrahman Walid, are you there?
Yes, mister.
Can you answer the question? Bughdadi? Abdurrahman Bughdadi,
Yes, mister.
can you answer my question?
Mister, can you say it again, please?
No. This means you weren't following up, Abdurrahman. Were you following up?
I didn't follow up this part.
Please follow up. Please follow up.
Okay.
Ngoda, are you there? Hassan? Hassan? Hassan Gouza is not there. Lolwa? Lolwa, can you hear me? Lolwa is not there. Noreen? Noreen? Okay, Ryan?
Yeah, mister.
I asked a question 2 minutes ago. Can you answer it?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
No problem, but please follow up. Yahya Awad, are you there? Yahya Awad? Yahya, can you answer the question? Yahya left, okay. Who else? Hassan Ruhaim? Okay, Yahya. Yahya, please.
Yes, miss.
Okay, Hassan. Do you know the question I
Sir,
asked?
can you hear me?
Hassan, do you remember the question I asked, or did you hear it?
Why did Liesel?
Yes.
I think it was why did Liesel steal from the mayor's house?
Okay. So what the answer?
Uh, I think she stole it out of anger because he
Here is
didn't
the
want her
answer.
to accept.
Yes, here is the answer. I highlighted the answer, guys, because they fired my mama. Okay, because the last time she went to the mayor's house to take the laundry.
Yes, I mean, I was going to say
Yes.
no, because the washing, they don't
Yes.
accept her to do the.
Okay. Thank you. She was angry because the mayor and his wife fired her mama from doing the laundry or the washing, as Hassan said. Please, guys, follow up. Please, guys, follow up. Yani, in the room, there are, I'm not sure, 24 of you, 24 out of 29, but those who are following up are just 3 or 4. That's a shame, wallah. Yani, I'm a very easy teacher. I give you the quizzes online, and I know what happens in these quizzes, and I don't care. I don't ask you to open your cameras. Yani, you are free in my sessions. You get the full mark in the quizzes, and some people don't deserve it, but I don't care. Just follow up. If you have a question, you can answer it. There will be a quiz and there will be a term exam. You need to know what's happening at least. Some people don't know the characters of the story. We've been studying it since the beginning of the year. And some people still don't know who is Liesel, who is Max. Please follow up. Please follow up. Sorry. Okay, so the girl is angry because the mayor and his wife fired her mama. When they angled toward it, they headed for the mayor's house. They decided to steal it. The boy was hungry. He wanted to find something to eat. Rudy asked just how, in God's name, they were going to get inside. But Liesel knew local knowledge. She used to enter the house before, and maybe she knows how to enter it. She answered local, but she thought that the window of the library was open as usual, but she stopped. But when they were able to see the window to the library at the far end of the house, she was greeted with a shock. Why the window was closed? Because when she used to go to the mayor's house, the mayor's wife used to leave the library window open for her. Now it was closed. Rudy asked her, well means what are we going to do? Liesel swiveled slowly and hurried off. Not today, maybe another day, she said. Rudy laughed at her. I knew it. He got up. He ran after her. I knew it. You filthy Zaumensch. You couldn't get in there even if you had the key. I know you couldn't or wouldn't do it. Do you mind? She quickened even more and brushed aside Rudy's commentary. We just have to wait for the right opportunity. Internally, she shrugged away from a kind of gladness that the window was closed. Maybe she felt happy because internally she didn't want to steal anything from the mayor's house. Okay, Lolwa, but just please follow up, Lolwa, and the other guys. Follow up, please. She berated herself. Why Liesel? She blamed herself. She asked, why did you have to explode when they fired Mama? Why did you have to be angry? Why couldn't you just keep your big mouth shut? For all you know, the mayor's wife is now completely reformed after you yelled and screamed at her. Remember when the mayor's wife fired Liesel's mama? The girl got angry and shouted at the mayor's wife. She blames herself now for shouting at her. Maybe if she hadn't shouted at her, the mayor's wife would let her in and make her read again and again. And this way she could steal